Hi everyone, welcome out to the Dice Tower. My name's Chris Yee, and today I'm going to be doing some comparisons of games to just give you some very quick information on them. I think that many times people have asked, hey, how do these games that are in similar families compare against each other, for example? So I'm going to be talking about that. Some of these are ones that people have been asking for, and some of these are things that people have definitely not been asking for, but I thought maybe you'd find entertaining. So let's go ahead and get started. So as I teased, let's start here with this, comparing Next Station London, a Spiel des Jahres nominee from this last year, with Next Station Tokyo, its slightly beefier successor. Next Station London, well, these both are very easy, simple roll and write games, flip and write games. You flip over a deck of cards, and you draw a connecting station in one of 4 subway colors, and you are working on one line at a time, and the other players are working on a different colored line, meaning the same flip of cards is going to affect each of you just a little bit differently, and you're making these subway routes that look different from each other's at the end of the game. Next Station London is definitely more approachable. I see why it was the first of the series that came out, and I think that it's a little bit more straightforward. Next Station Tokyo has some harder time scoring. The districts, the way that they're drawn on the map, just a little bit different. The connections between combining the 2 different color subway lines, a 2-way intersection doesn't score you any points. You have to start at 3 or 4 or 5, and that's because it has the green route starts pre-printed on your page. That makes it trickier to work around. You don't have as much flexibility to do kind of wacky, weird routes. You have to be a little bit more precise, and there's already more routes blocked on the path there. So while the gameplay is extremely similar to Next Station London, I think that this one is trickier. And so it might be less immediately satisfying or less immediately gratifying because you want to just be able to combine 2 subways together. Cool. Well, that's not points unless you do them in the corners or close to the corners of the board. So I think if you're looking for something more casual, Next Station London is probably the way to go. If you've played this a lot and thought you'd like a little variety, Next Station Tokyo is going to be for that. They're so similar that I would give them the same score, which is actually a 9. But one thing I wanted to note, the biggest difference between the map is that in Next Station London, you can play with this little expansion diddly here, where each player gets a card that will travel around with their pencil. You'll notice the Dice Tower Library copies of Next Station London has been well played. These pencils are super worn. But anyway, this power will transfer around the table with the blue pencil, and that's neat. That's a fun little flexibility. In Next Station Tokyo, how they do it is that each round you'll flip over a station card and a specialty power. So every card of this type, in this case Pentagon, revealed, has the ability to branch, and that'll be the same for all players at the table. Then the next round you flip over a new combination. This round, triangles can be worth 2 times multiplier when you are doing scoring at the end of the game. You just make a little note there. And so I think that these combinations, circles are wild, and squares you can draw another, connect to another station in a straight line. These combinations make it fun, and they're so similar you can actually interchange them between the 2 games. I really like this little combination, making the cards special. However, I did notice that depending on the luck of which station, which color you're working on, this 2-time multiplier could be the difference in the game. A little luckier, but I do kind of prefer that, but I prefer the simplicity in London. So either way, I think you're set with a winner. Now for the next comparison, I don't have one of the box covers because it's in the Dice Tower Children's Library. That game is Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy. Now, I'm going to be comparing it to what is actually its initial released version called Soviet Kitchen Unleashed, a much more cynical theme, more tongue-in-cheek, and more, well, geared towards adult humor. Not adult humor, but mature humor. Yummy Yummy Monster Tummy is a fantastic family game. I believe that Tom and I both rate it extremely highly, and our kids love it. They would not love this one, but let me explain to you how the games work, because they are the same fundamental game. A phone is on the middle of the table. This is an app-driven game. And every card that the players have in their hand has a QR code in the back. They are playing cooperatively, trying to scan cards that show different colored items in order to make the blend of all the cards the people play match as closely as possible to the hue and to the saturation and the brightness or darkness of the target color. And depending on how close they are, they'll get a score and they can kind of move on through this sort of a campaign, but not really. In Yummy Monster Tummy, that's done with a very cute, fuzzy monster setting. In Soviet Kitchen Unleashed, you're trying to make the ugliest sausages possible, and you're throwing Band-Aids in the mix, and you're throwing boots and ammunition, and making all these effects go off that are just disgusting and very funny. The theme of this one is outstanding, to the point where Tom has actually kept this one in the regular Dice Tower library because it's so funny to throw on the table at events and say, hey, I bet you've never played this game, nor anything like it. Now, Yummy Monster Tummy has a few of the mechanisms smoothened out. There's no radiation and drunkenness and ammunition is explosions mechanisms. That is in Soviet Kitchen. I can't believe I'm saying that. And so Yummy Monster Tummy did a good job making it more approachable and honestly a better game, though I do find this one quite hilarious. Possibly a grail game for any of you who are looking for something just zany and off the wall. Perhaps you've never heard of it, so I wanted to show this one off. Yes, it's a little bit clunkier, the graphics are not as good, but I laugh a lot when I play this one. So there you go. Soviet Kitchen Unleashed versus Yummy Monster Tummy. This last comparison is one a lot of people have asked, which kind of surprises me, and that is Thunder Road Vendetta versus Heat. This is surprising to me because Heat is a much more pure racing game. It is about the thrill of trying to cut these corners and to slide in front of people and win the race. That is the whole point of it, whereas Thunder Road Vendetta is a battle racer. Yes, the goal is kind of similar, I suppose. In the end, you want to be the player that crosses the finish line first, but that necessitates a lot of explosions and murdering and killing other players. Basically, in Thunder Road, you don't know where the finish line is until one player has been eliminated from either crashing them off the road or into mountains, or by blowing them up with guns. All of that is absent in Heat, and the mechanisms are completely different as well. Heat is very card-driven. You're trying to maintain your deck of cards from having too much heat, from having too much damage done to you by turning corners too fast. And so there is a little bit of damage control, sure, but it's all self-regulated. It's all self-driven in Heat. Whereas in Thunder Road Vendetta, it's all external. Players are trying to actively blow each other up or destroy each other. And so I find that comparison a little bit funny to make, but a lot of people have asked about it because they are both very popular, well-produced, lovely racing games, though in such different families. A game that I would actually compare Thunder Road Vendetta to a little bit more would be this one here, Fast and Furious Highway Heist. This is a little bonus content, bonus comparison for you. This is from Funko Games. This is one that really surprised me because it is also a bit of it's less of a racing game, it's an objective completion game, but it has that same feel of being a battle racer, whereas you are trying to win individually in Thunder Road by blowing each other up. In Fast and Furious, this is a cooperative game where you are the crew of those movies that everybody loves, critics especially, where you're trying to blow up other cars, crash your car into helicopters in the sky, destroy a tank. There are 3 weird missions, so many funny moments that come out in this game. And this is where these two are more comparable. These are funny games. Heat is serious, and it can be kind of fun, it can have moments of excitement, but these make me laugh, the both of them. The difference in Fast and Furious being that I think it's actually a little bit more complicated than Thunder Road. It has a few more rules because it's cooperative. You are controlling the opponent players, you're controlling the tank or the helicopter each round. But they both have a similar feel. The road is presumed to kind of be moving by you as your cars stay out there and you're trying to blow each other up. In Fast and Furious, there's rules for jumping out of your car and jumping onto the hood of an opponent car, and then the opponents jump onto the roof of their car where all the cars are still going 130 miles an hour, and you fist fight each other. If you want something that's cooperative and has the same feel as Thunder Road, I think Fast and Furious is a pretty good way to go. The rulebook is a little bit front-loaded with concepts, but once you start playing, it's very enjoyable. You have some neat die rolls, you have those moments of excitement. And so these two games, I think, are actually a little bit more comparable than Heat and Thunder Road. So there you go. Just wanted to do some quick game comparisons to maybe give some more context. People have asked about some of these. But also I want to show off this game because we came across it and goodness, it's hilarious. It's great. So anyway, Thanks for coming by another Dice Tower video here. My name is Chris Yee. Hope that was fun, insightful, or just interesting, if nothing else. Make sure to have a great day. You are trying to win the race. You are